This is our second video. This is protecting your valuables, and then we'll talk about protecting yourself. But let's talk about protecting your valuables first. Yeah. So when you travel, you need to expect not to blend in. Yeah. As a group, you're going to stick out as a tourist. Also, just the sheer fact that for many of you, this is the first time you're in Scotland. This is the first time you're looking at a different country, the country of Scotland. So, you'll stick out because you'll be looking at it differently than a local person looks at it. So everyone will know that you're a tourist. And also, as a guest in the country, you should know that how you're treated as an American in their country is based on experiences that people have had with other Americans who have visited their country that they've encountered. So know that you represent UNLV, know that you represent America, and know that you represent artists. So this translates to kind of don't be crazy, don't be loud, don't be rude, and have fun, but again, always be curious and courteous and kind. Yeah. Let me give you two examples of times where students have been upset traveling because of their actions, leading to a result from that country that they didn't like. Yeah. So one time, actually I think it was the first time we went to Edinburgh, a couple of the students decided, you know what, the whole time we're going to be in Edinburgh, we're going to talk in an English accent. I guess they didn't realize really that this is Scotland, so their English accent wasn't really Scottish. They were talking in a kind of Cockney accent, which doesn't really quite exist anymore in the UK. And then these students were kind of surprised that other people from the group were somehow being treated nicer. So times where people would befriend the people that worked in the bakery where they got coffee in the morning. Somehow some of us were getting free cookies and free biscuits and things, and they were not. So sometimes you just have to, in those instances, realize your actions do create a way that the world looks at you. Another example that I found with students is one time students got upset when they got yelled at in Korea. But we were on a subway. It was about 11:30 at night. Yeah. People were coming home from work, probably people that had worked all day, and they were coming home very late at night. And students were just having a boisterous, fun time. They were laughing, they were dancing on the subway, they were just really loud. And what they didn't realize is that their loudness came off as kind of rudeness and a disrespect for the people who were from there and had had a whole day. So those are a couple examples of just times where you have to always be aware of how you're being perceived in the world around you. Protecting your valuables. So we have had things stolen while we've been on trips. So I always say be careful of pickpockets. It's good when you're in a large crowded place, which you will be, to always just kind of know where your money is and try and protect yourself from things like pickpockets. We haven't really encountered too much of it in Scotland, but there's a reason why the musical Oliver is set in London, and there is just a history of pickpockets there. So I've personally even felt that when I've traveled in London, where I've been in a crowded place and I felt somebody's hands inside my jacket looking. So you always want to sort of protect your money and protect the things that you don't want stolen around you, and also be very aware of your surroundings, and especially if you're in unfamiliar surroundings like you are when you're traveling. So some people do like to wear a money belt, and sometimes like the international office at UNLV will suggest to students to wear a money belt, which I'll show you a picture of one here. You can put this underneath your clothing and you can put your valuables inside of it, and then it's a little bit harder for someone to get at at or reach into the pockets. I personally don't do that, but I am very aware of things like I try not to put my wallet in the back pocket. I try to put it in a front pocket, or I try to put it in my bag. And if I do put things in my bag, I put them in the most secure places in my bag. So some backpacks are easier to get into than other backpacks. So you need to just know and think about and protect yourself from someone who is wanting to take advantage of you and take advantage of the situation that you might be traveling with money. And again, it's always to note that you're a tourist. So as a tourist, people expect you to be traveling with more money than the average person is. And also a place to really secure things that are precious to you, like your passport. We've lost passports in the past because people have just had them and started using them as an ID places because, oh, look, it's cool, I have my passport, so I'll just show you my passport in a pub or a bar. We've had passports left at bars. We've had passports left at clubs. We've had passports left in bathrooms, on the urinals, or on the toilets. So it's always to be careful of it. I tend to try not to carry my passport around with me. I tend to leave it back in the apartment because that's something that I really need when I need to get back into my own home country. So I don't want to just leave it around places. Also to know that in the venue, there might not be a dressing room that can be locked during the show. So we'll have to find a place like, where's the secure place for people to leave their bags, and especially their valuable things. So that's something that even while people are performing, we can put them in somebody's specific bag. We can collect them. So that might be one of the tasks that we do in that 10 minutes right before. And the other thing I suggest to everyone is don't bring something that's so valuable that you could lose it and then you would be devastated. So I've been on tour when people have had precious pieces of jewelry that have been handed down in their family, and sometimes I just decide leave that at home where it's safe and I don't have to worry about keeping track of it all the time, so that I can focus on other things that are kind of more important, really. And I don't put myself in that situation of losing something that I'm just going to hold on to for so many years later that, oh my God, I lost that. And it's my mistake. Yeah. Another good thing to always know is what's in your wallet. So don't lose. So if you did lose a wallet, you would know what credit cards are in your wallet, and you would possibly have those numbers that you could call. So sometimes it's just smart to lay everything out and take a picture of it. And then you'll just have a record and a document of something that you can get back to if something is lost or stolen. It's also a good idea to have a copy of your passport, just a Xerox copy or even a photocopy of that, so that if it is lost, you have proof that you have a passport, you know what the passport number is, and you can go to the consulate and you can get special permission to travel back home without a passport. So those are some of the things that are really important. We have had a couple instances where things have been stolen, and oftentimes things get stolen when people are not paying attention, and things get stolen when people are being careless. So again, you're traveling, you're a tourist. So we've had times where someone has set their wallet on top of a payphone while they're making a phone call home. And then some punk kids ran up and just see it, and they run and grab it and take off running down the street, and there's no catching that person. Yeah, so we have had that happen. We've also had instances where people have left valuable things like CD players, Bluetooth speakers in a window that was wide open, and then on the first floor, so then someone could see it and someone could come and just simply take it. So you always want to be careful of all of those kinds of things, and you don't put yourself in a situation where any of your valuables items can be taken from you. Yeah, so again, be ready and be careful.